Florence was speaking to you.
I'm sorry, Florence. I was looking at the fireflies. What did you say? I said, can you see if they've left yet? I wish I'd been more a cat, so I could see in the dark.
I don't think I'll wait for her. I think I'm just going to grab a book and go to my room.
Is your jaw hurting tonight, Jeff?
Not bad.
Then stay a little. We'd love to have you.
Chef, you've already invested 267 minutes worth of waiting. Sure you can afford an additional 10 cents worth.
All right, my statistical friend. My patience is good for 10 minutes more.
Oh, I wonder what she's like. Miss Willie says they're one of the wealthiest families in America.
Oh, that's bad. She'll have an expensive camera she can't work, or rave about an artist I've never heard of.
Oh, cynic, his money spoiled me.
Do you have money, Fairy?
Bags! Let's not be prejudiced about money. Some of my best friends are wealthy. Hannibal, play something for us while we wait. Help distract Jeff.
Well, you catch me too. What shall it be?
Surprise us.
How about a gypsy shark?
No, Hannibal, please don't play Gypsy Shark. It scares me. Gypsy music terrifies me.
Terrifying.
It frightens me. You don't know this, but when I was a child, I was kidnapped by gypsies, and I was rescued just when they were about to dye my skin with walnut juice. Well, I was. Go ahead, Hannibal. Oh, I do hope she plays an instrument. Oh, I really hope she plays the harp. I'm sorry, Hannibal. Go ahead. Oh, I really hope she plays the harp. My father played the harp. He was so good at it. Oh, like an angel. Jeff, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, there's a book I want on the top shelf.
Fairy, get the book for Jeff so we can listen to Hannibal play. I'll get a chair.
That's all right, Fairy, I can get it.
No, Jeffrey. Men have mountains. I can get it. Which book did you want?
The Lifespan of the Ape.
Oh, people give the strangest books at this library. I never could get into Forbidden Tibet. You know, standing above people does so much. I feel smarter than anybody in the whole world right now.
It's the other one.
You know, books are my blood. My mother was the inventor of the cross index at the New York Library.
Here, I'll get Jeff's book, Fairy.
No, Hannibal. Musicians shouldn't work. Don't get dust in your eyes, Fairy. Are you sure you don't want animal husbandry? I can reach that.
No, this time it's got to be The Lifespan of the Ape.
Here, goose it out with this.
It's not fair to make the rest of us suffer just to get you into heaven, Mrs. Patty.
Other people like electricity.
Now you sit at your easel like a good girl and leave the lights alone.
I must say, Miss Willie, you scared us. We all thought you were in the front office.
For the love of papers, what are you up to?
I'm getting a book for Jeffrey.
Let the violin go.
I couldn't quite reach
I
it.
certainly didn't mean to cause all this commotion. Forget it.
No, Jeffrey. I can still get it. Everyone watch their heads. Timber! Hurry, you harm yourself. I can get it, Miss Willie. Be careful. There you go, Jeffrey. Miss Willie, you may take the bow. And Hannibal, you may take my hands.
The next time anyone wants a book from the top, Fairy, call me. Or the whole shelf could have fallen on you.
Whoever heard of anybody being hurt by good books?
Enough of it, my darling, and I don't need that to happen.
I hate everything in the world, but most of all, I hate cold cream, hot dogs, codfish, crayfish, catfish, catnip, sheep dip, sawdust, subway, sewers, skewers, buttermilk, caterpillars, frictions, fractions, pins, pens, tons, policemen, and electricity.
What is she like, Miss Willie?
I haven't seen her. Let's tidy the room a bit. Fairy, will you put the Parcheesi board away, please?
Is she young or old, Miss Willie?
All I know is that her name is Savage, and she gets the blue room.
Well, I hope she isn't beautiful. Competition exhausts me.
Well, you know you tried that, but it hurt.
Miss Willie, I wish you wouldn't call me that. It's a pet name my wife uses.
I forgot.
And I wish you wouldn't single me out to kiss. Why, what would my wife think if she came to call and saw a strange woman kissing me?
She would have minded her.
Please try to remember.
I'll try. Forgive me.
Feeling
Something hyphenated.
I forget, but she had color. All my relations are also drab. Both of my parents were albino.
Fairy, you shouldn't make up such things.
Well, they were emotional albinos.
Oh, Fairy, don't peek. It's so degrading to get on your knees.
You get on your knees every night to pray, don't you? Let me say a prayer. Dear God, let me see something.
See anything?
Yes, I do. God was quick.
What do you see?
1, 2, 3 people coming out of Dr. Emmett's office.
Who?
I don't know. Let's all hide and eavesdrop.
Is that ethical, Jeff?
Hannibal, you know what we sent out anyhow.
We could call it espionage.
Come on, Miss Patty, we're going to spy.
I'll go to the light switch. It's rude to let guests in our dark room.
This is the last time I'll be a party to peeking, Fairy. Kneeling just simply ruins my night.
Oh, I hope I don't get the hiccups and betray us.
Dr. Emmett will join you in a moment.
Please tell her that there's nothing more we'd like to be started on our way back.
Yes, Senator Savage. There are cigarettes and magazines on the table. Please make yourselves at home.
Well, what do you think of it now, Titus? Are you reassured?
Somewhat. It certainly doesn't look like an institution.
Not at all.
Mother will be contented and happy here, I'm sure. It's a charming place.
I just hope we haven't made a mistake.
Darling, the only mistake we made was in not taking steps sooner.
I don't like to be thought of as insensitive. Perhaps it would have been wiser to have left our home with an attendant.
That would have been disastrous.
You're hard.
Someone has to be practical.
No, you're cast. You married too many foreigners.
Samuel, darling, we've all done what had to be done. Let's not quarrel about it, please.
Lilybell is right. This is civilized behavior.
I'm sorry to have to wait. I was anxious to have Dr. Johnson question your mother.
This is quite a place you have here, Doctor. It's a great relief to us all to have found it so cheerful.
But then we were assured that your place offered the best that money could buy. We hope we offer the best that experience can provide.
There's one thing I meant to ask you, Doctor. Will Mother be exposed to any danger here?
Oh, not at all. Patients in this wing are in their final stage of treatment. They're extremely kind and cooperative. On the surface, most of them would seem quite as normal as, say yourself, Senator.
You don't say.
While we're waiting, Senator, I'd like to ask a few more questions about this memorial fund of your mother's.
There's little more to tell. She planned on using the fund to give away the entire Savage estate.
The newspapers called it her happiness fund.
Was this indifference to money something recent?
I wouldn't say so.
She's always given money to foolish causes.
Would you mind being more specific?
Well, there's an Italian farmer who wanted a box of soil from Italy.
Just dirt.
Mother spent $200 to get it for him.
And there was a flower peddler who wanted a tombstone for his horse.
Got it.
Ever since Father died, his obsession got progressively worse. Why, just last summer, she chartered a ship to send 1,000 school children around the world.
Why?
He said they ought to go around the world while there's still a world around.
We stopped her just as she was on the verge of setting up this fund legally.
With the board of
With
directors.
a fantastic board of directors, not a banker, a bishop, or a lawyer among them.
Whom did she choose?
A postman, a gardener, a veterinarian, and herself.
We should have known her mind was going the day she decided to step on that stage.
Oh, that! Have you ever heard of such a case before, Doctor? What would possess a woman of her age to suddenly become an actress?
The unique is routine here, Senator. Nothing surprises us.
She had been talented or even vain, I could have understood it.
But she wasn't. She was always quiet, even timid. And suddenly this amazing change.
Grief did it.
But why turn to acting? Life has enough drama in it.
God knows.
Isn't that right, Doctor?
As Judge Savage says, God knows.
And I wish you'd explain that better to us.
Obvious exhibitionism.
She's taken a childish delight in being seen everywhere with that teddy bear.
Anything to indulge this newfound love for notoriety.
Her entire conduct was a travesty of dignity and self-respect.
And self-respect.
Can you tell me, Senator, has there ever been a similar pattern of behavior in your mother's family?
Frankly, I don't know.
You see, Doctor, she's not actually our mother. Our father remarried when we were children.
Oh, I see.
But it's never made any difference in our feelings towards her.
Well, I'm afraid I can't be of any help to you until I've had time to observe her conduct here.
You're the doctor.
And we know she'll be comfortable here in such a charming place.
I wouldn't mind shaving myself.
This is no place to laugh, Samuel.
Oh, but we encourage laughter here, Senator. We think it healthy.
You do?
Definitely. For as Byron says, and if I lack an immortal thing, 'tis that I may not weep.
Of course, of course.
I beg your pardon, Dr. Emmett, but Dr. Johnson won't be able to complete Mrs. Savage's file for the moment.
Why not?
He finds her a little uncooperative.
Then bring her in here, please.
Yes, Doctor.
While you say goodbye, I'll have a talk with Dr. Johnson.
Oh, please don't go, Doctor.
Please, Doctor.
We feel the sooner we can get this over with, the better for all involved.
She's vindictive.
For some reason, Doctor, she holds me responsible.
We'll just have to give her a little time to get over her resentment.
Will you come in here, please, Mrs. Savage?
Will you sit down, Mrs. Savage?
We've waited to say goodbye to you, Mother. I do not like you, Lily Bell. The reason why I cannot tell, but this I know and know full well. I do not like you, Lily Bell. She's been chanting that all the way down here.
Mrs. Savage, your children are leaving. Wouldn't you like to say goodbye to them? They would like to say goodbye to you, Mrs. Savage.
The fireflies are out. How lovely. What makes them light up, Doctor? Are they mating?
I couldn't really say, Mrs. Savage.
Oh, I thought you'd know. Isn't this a bug house?
This is the cloisters. It is to be your new home. I'm Dr. Emmett.
Wouldn't it be fascinating if human beings glowed like fireflies while they mated? You light up like you made, Lily Bell. Lord knows you're flighty.
We may as well go, Titus. She's going to be unpleasant again.
Surely, Mother, will not allow us to depart in an atmosphere of bitterness.
20 needles and 20 pins, and 30 dirty Republicans.
She's determined to keep the wrong attitude with
It's
this.
futile.
Well, time will take care of this. Come, Samuel.
We'll bring down more of her clothes later, Doctor. We couldn't pack but one grip under the circumstances.
Well, Sunday is Visitor's Day if you care to bring them down there.
My sister will be returning to Paris next week. We'll make arrangements. Good night, Mother.
If you need anything, Mrs. Savage, Miss Wilhelmina will take care of you.
We have a lovely garden out there. We'll be able to see it in the morning. When I was a child, we always said 30 needles and 30 pins. You've added 20 more dirty Republicans.
It's a fault of mine. Exaggeration. It's stupid of me to try to irritate them like this. I only end up irritating myself. I suppose it's exasperating now to be funny later.
Oh, I noticed that his ice is gone. Oh, it must have dropped out in the hall. I'll look as soon as I go.
Don't bother. It fell out last fall at the opera. I'd have found it if the usher hadn't been so nasty about lighting matches during the magic fire music. You know what this is, don't you?
Suppose you tell me.
It's a teddy bear. Surely you've seen one like it before.
Not that big.
Do you know what I do with it?
I couldn't possibly guess.
I sleep with it.
Do you?
Yes, I do, you. Are you going to talk to me as if I were an imbecile too?
Here, we mustn't be hostile.
Of course, you haven't harmed me. Would you care to know why I sleep with it?
If you care to tell me.
I don't care, and I'll tell you. It's because I get lonely. I'm too old to have a lover, too fastidious to sleep with a cat.
And by all means, you must take it with you here. Would you care to take off your hat?
If I'm going to spend the rest of my life here, I might as well.
It's a mighty saucy hat.
A 10-cent piece of felt and 2 cheap flowers, $85. Why economy should be so expensive, I don't know.
It takes imagination.
And the blood of pirates. But I wanted it. I wanted a hat like this since I was 16. All the good it does me now. Maybe you can do something with it. Not at all sure what.
Oh, you might need it. You better keep it.
Dear! My hair looks like the matted end of a coconut.
Oh, I don't think so. It's a heavenly color.
You should have seen it last year. It was bright red. And then, to be different, I dyed it black with a white streak down the middle. I looked like nothing so much as a skunk. So finally I gave up and I tinted it blue. It goes with everything.
Oh, it'll certainly go with your room. Would you like to go up and get settled?
Time to lock me up.
Well, I wouldn't dream of locking you up. Did you bring a suitcase?
My daughter did. I wasn't consulted.
I'll get it and take you up. You'll have time to explore your surroundings tomorrow. You can wait here.
Alone?
Of course.
No handcuffs.
We have the honor system.
Honor system indeed.
Hello?
Miss Willie says the bars are only there to keep the world outside.
Corny, isn't it? It's alive.
Oh, Mary, you must stop fighting yourself.
Poor thing couldn't be any less harmless.
It won't bite?
It won't shed, lay eggs, or bark. And to the best of my knowledge, it's unvexed by sex. It couldn't be less trouble.
Well, in that case, any friend of yours is a friend of mine.
Perhaps we should introduce ourselves. You must be Mrs. Savage. I'm Florence Williams.
How do you do?
We've been waiting for you all afternoon. We're so glad you're finally here. May I introduce Carrie May?
Oh, tell me you love me.
Oh, but dear, we just met.
Oh, you don't have to mean it. I just feel wonderful when people tell me they love me.
Well, I'm sure everyone loves you.
You see, I told you she wouldn't be spoiled. Welcome to the Cloisters Climate Fest by Government Test.
Thank you.
And this is Hannibal.
How do you do?
And this is our Mrs. Patty.
How do you do, Mrs. Patty?
I hate everything in the world. But most of all, I hate spiders, lightning, stone couch, mustard, blisters, kernels, mice, bees, cheese, raggedy, colorful, rhubarb, barnacles, bats, broken glass, eels, crumbs, drunks, salt, and fun.
Why don't you like her part?
Mrs. Patty won't answer Mrs. Savage. She'll only recite the things she hates.
Sweet, but stubborn.
She stopped talking about 20 years ago.
Why? She got mad.
Her husband told her to shut up.
And she did.
She gave up conversation for life.
But she's only giving up electricity for Lent.
You're a woman of wisdom, Mrs. Patty. The only thing wise than saying very little is saying nothing at all. Like to hold it?
She likes you.
I like her.
Oh, you haven't met Jeff. Come here, Jeff.
Please excuse my left hand.
Certainly. Is it a true face?
Jeff's face is scarred and he likes to spare people.
Well, you don't need to spare me. I have to look at myself every morning.
Dr. Emmett refuses to let me wear the bandage.
We have to humor our doctors once in a while.
And now you have met everyone. We're a small group in this wing, and we hope you find us comfortable to be with.
Oh, Hannibal, you're so silly. You know Miss Savage hasn't met everyone. She hasn't met the Holy Terror. Where is he, Florence?
Well, he was just here a moment ago. John Thomas!
He might have gone out into the hall.
I'll see. John Thomas!
You won't hurt it, will you? Gracious, why should I?
You won't object, will you?
Well, what is John Thomas?
Her son, what did you think?
Here?
Yes, he was born here.
Oh, I can't! Oh, look. Sleep on the floor. My husband warned me I'd be a bad mother. Miss Savage, this is my son.
You like children, don't you?
Everyone's but my own. How old is he?
He's 5.
He's big for 5 months.
No, 5 years.
Years! I meant years!
Will you excuse me now? I have to put him to bed. Oh, he has the measles. I do hope he won't catch them. Excuse me.
That was exceedingly kind of you, Mrs. Savage. Not to notice anything wrong.
There wasn't time to explain, but you were like lightning.
Poor Florence isn't well. We pretend for her sake. We hope you will too.
Oh, I will.
I think we should understand right away, Mrs. Savage, that, except for Florence, the rest of us are free to leave here anytime we want to.
But we don't go because there's no better place to go.
You're a very lucky woman to be accepted here, Miss Savage, if I do say so myself. And I do.
Do be quiet.
Tyrant!
What is that?
That rude
Noise is a signal for us to go to our rooms.
It's the evil of the machine age. Perfect pistons and no manners.
Well, ours is not the reason why. I wonder why anyone ever quotes the first part of that. It's someone blundered.
Well, good night.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. We never say that. It means there's no more.
No more what?
Oh, there's no more of so much.
Don't let just man disturb you, Mrs. Savage. During the war, his plane was shot down in flames. He hasn't quite recovered yet.
Was his face badly burned?
Oh, not at all. Jeff bailed out, but he was the only one of his crew. This cargo's deeper than we can see.
Miss Savage, surely you've guessed by now that Hannibal and I are the only ones that are allowed to leave here freely. We pretend to save the others' pride. Oh, Miss Patty, I didn't mean you, of course. Oh, Miss Patty, please wait. Excuse me, I have to go apologize, or she'll scold. I can just rip my tongue out.
Harry has the gift of good for saying the wrong thing.
I should think it would take quite a bit of doing to apologize to someone who doesn't speak and souls anyhow.
Oh, you'll get used to Mrs. Patty. Just treat her like a clock. Look at her to see how the day goes, but don't expect an answer. She's happy at her ease.
She's an artist?
I don't know whether she's an artist or not, but she paints
Portraits?
seascapes, which is rather odd because she's never seen the ocean.
Oh, Miss Savage, I forgot to tell you, whatever you do, when they make you go up to your room tonight, don't go to sleep. Just don't.
What did she mean about not sleeping?
None of us sleep here.
Where do you sleep?
We don't. Oh, we go to our rooms. We've all agreed to that in principle. But we never sleep. We don't close our eyes. When you sleep, Mrs. Savage, today ends. And when today ends, tomorrow begins. Today we're safe. Tomorrow may be filled with disaster. You won't catch us sleeping. Could anything be simpler?
Not much.
Today is the only certainty, Mrs. Savage.
Hannibal, I heard the buzzer. Why aren't you in your room?
I am in spirit. Everyone says it's the spirit that counts. Remember, Mrs. Savage, fight tonight.
They all came to meet you?
There was a Mrs. Patty, and 4 others who have no business being here at their age.
I quite agree.
You think I belong here?
You're understaffed, Mrs. Savage. I'm kept too busy to have any opinions.
I'd like to know what they told you about me.
Was there anything to tell?
Did they mention my memorial fund?
Not to me.
Then they probably said my husband's death affected my reason.
Well, that would be understandable.
But untrue.
Why? Weren't you happy with your husband?
I married Jonathan when I was 16 years old. I loved him from the moment I met him to the moment he died. Do you know what that meant?
I think so.
Well, you don't, my dear. It meant that my only aim in life was to make him happy, to want what he wanted, to anticipate what would please him. And that meant the foolish things I'd always wanted had to be forgotten.
But surely you had no regrets.
None. While he lived. After he was gone, I couldn't help but think of all the foolish things I'd always wanted to do.
What had you always wanted to do?
Things that would have shocked poor Jonathan.
Such as dyeing your hair blue?
That, and studying French, and ballet dancing, and people. As a girl, I thought I would have been a wonderful actress. So no responsibilities and time running out. I became one.
Don't you think you waited too long, Mrs. Savage?
I certainly do. Had I been a fool in my youth, no one would have noticed the difference in my old age.
Well, I never think of you as old, Mrs. Savage.
Well, having kicked over the traces myself, and learning once again the importance of unimportant things, I decided I'd help others have the foolish things they'd always wanted.
Well, how are you going to do that?
By establishing the Jonathan Savage Memorial Fund, a foundation in giving away money in memory of my husband. And that insane idea has brought me here.
Well, hopefully you won't find it too unpleasant here.
At least my French lessons taught me one thing.
What's that?
What I am. I'm a more canard. That's a dead duck, I think.
No, it's not as bad as that.
Yes, it is. One day you'll realize that a great injustice was done to me, that I was always quite sane. But here I am, and here they'll try to keep me, with my few foolish years taken from me. If people would walk around the edge of the carpet once in a while, it would save the wearing out in the middle.
Beautiful, beautiful, Hannibal. You were melody of the morning.
You could be in a concert field, Hannibal, if you worked at it.
Oh, you're so right, Jeff. Golden fingertips. I'm such a rag. I simply surrender to it.
Oh, Miss Savage, you come in.
We trust you had a pleasant, sleepless night.
Lovely that you got open.
You just missed Hannibal's recital.
Oh, I heard it. As a matter of fact, it's what brought me out of bed this morning.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it, Miss Savage, but just a year ago he first touched the violin.
Now, what makes you think I will believe it? Is it something you composed yourself, Hannibal?
5, with variations of my own.
Mathematics classes certainly are game.
Now, I don't quite follow that, Barry.
Barry knows that I used to be a statistician.
Then, now I'm screwed.
Give him a fraction to multiply.
I'm afraid I didn't know whether he was right or not.
My last position was with the government, charting trains. It was my job to keep my finger on the pulse of the public and my ear to the ground.
A rather vulnerable position, was it not?
Very. I was fired and replaced by an electronic calculator.
I should think you'd hate electricity, too.
No, but I did want to make money with my brains, so I spent the next 2 years trying to think of something that could be made for a dime, sold for $1, and was habit forming. I'm afraid my education was wasted.
I'm going to send John Thomas to Princeton. Their boys aren't very bright, but they sure are gentlemen.
That reminds me, Miss Savage, may I ask you a personal question?
You're the only ones worth asking, my dear.
A little birdie told us that you used to be an actress. We're bursting with curiosity. Is it true?
Well, if being on the stage makes you an actress, then I guess it's true.
Miss Willie, that's little birdie Florence is talking about. Told us that you used to be on the New York stage.
I wonder if we've ever seen you, Mrs. Savage.
Not unless you were quick. Actually, I was only in 2 plays. The first was Macbeth.
Oh, I adore Macbeth. All that blood. You know, I went to send a pint of my blood to the Red Cross once, but they sent it back.
I expect you would have been a novel departure as Lady Macbeth.
I couldn't agree with you more. But they cast me as a witch.
Oh, but you're a perfect witch.
Thank you, dear.
Oh, you're welcome. Speak some of your witch talk for us.
I'm afraid I hadn't any lines. If I did, it would have cost me twice as much.
Why did it cost you anything?
I backed the show. Had I not put up the money, they wouldn't have even cast me as a mute witch. Let me make history. We were the first play ever to close before the reviews came out.
Was it expensive?
Very, but worth it.
What a pity. Weren't you disappointed?
Bitterly. But Dennis by nature optimistic, or he'd eat his young. So I decided I'd write my own play and star myself.
You wrote a play.
I did indeed.
What part did you play?
Naturally, the lead. Not guilty, starring Uncle P. Savage.
What does the P stand for?
I haven't the faintest idea. My numerologist said I needed it in my name for good luck. And he was right. We ran a year.
What was your play about, Miss Savage?
A mother who murdered a man and is defended by a young woman lawyer who turned out to be her own daughter. I had bright red hair and died in my daughter's arms every night and to that next week, just as the curtain came down and the jury whispered, not guilty. It was the best time of my life.
I gather the notices were good at that time.
Well, they were sincere. The New York Times said I set the theater back 50 years, which couldn't have been true, since I stole the plot from Madam X, and I was only 40 years old.
Wouldn't you think they'd known?
But the Wall Street Journal was wonderful. They said I brought something new to the theater. Not money, though.
What did Wall Street say?
They said I had a tenacious mediocrity, unhampered by taste.
But that wasn't good.
It was perfect. All we rated our ads was tenacious and unhampered.
And you ran a year?
We'd been running yet if my daughter hadn't come home and tried to stop me. Oh, I knew I was bad, and the audiences only came to laugh at me. But we both had a good time, and what more can you ask for?
I don't think that was very good. Miss Savage, don't! What's wrong? She's trying to read the news. Don't let her.
What's the matter?
I wouldn't do that if I were you,
Why were you trying to stop me from reading it then?
We have an agreement.
We never read the papers until they're a month old.
We find we're much happier when we wait.
It's reassuring we know it's over and nothing can be done.
My dear people, there is something I want to know in that paper, and I want to know it now, not in a month.
We're only trying to help you.
Disaster is easier to digest when it's aged a little.
I've made my bed, and I want to know who's in it.
We can't stop Mrs. Savage from reading the paper if she insists. We don't know her well enough to be rude.
Florence is right.
Well, Miss Savage, if you read anything horrible, please don't tell us.
No. And there's trouble in the world, it won't help us to know about it.
Wait, this is yesterday's paper. I want today's.
Oh, it isn't here yet.
When does it come?
I don't know.
Is there a radio here?
Yes, right over there.
Maybe I can catch the news. Why didn't someone mention there was a radio here?
Well, you didn't ask us.
The set isn't lighting up. Is there something wrong with it?
I don't think so. Of course, it hasn't any tubes.
It hasn't any what?
Tubes. Mrs. Patty steals them. She hates electricity, you know.
No one knows where she hides them.
Why didn't someone mention the radio had no tubes?
Well, you didn't ask us.
Oh, dear, dear, dear! How high is that wall?
Much too high.
It's nearly 10 chairs high.
And I suppose no one ever leaves a great gate open.
Mrs. Savage, don't look beyond the wall. There may be a better place somewhere, but if you give this up to search for it, you may not find it and then lose what you have.
You'll like it here. After a while.
Except in January, it gets a little cold.
We like you already.
Is it that I don't find you enchanting? It's just that, but you...
But we what?
Please don't say anything mean, Miss Savage. Please don't.
We have to go, Mrs. Savage.
Where?
It's garden hour.
We each have a little plot of land and we plant things. You can plant anything you wish, vegetables or flowers, anything.
Last year I planted birdseed to see what would come up.
What did come up, Carrie?
Well, nothing. But it was a rich horticultural experience.
There's a beautiful evergreen in the center. At Christmas, it has lights on it saying, Merry Christmas. Keep out.
Come with us, Mrs. Savage. I'll show you my delphiniums.
No, you go without me. I have some serious thinking to do.
But the buzzer buzzed. One has to obey orders.
May I ask why you're doing that, Mrs. Savage?
Oh, I believe in wearing the carpet out evenly.
How pretty. I'll help you.
But don't you have to guard it?
No. This is much more constructive.
I'll help too. We must all do our share.
No, I didn't mean to start a procession.
Come on, boys. Many feet make light work.
Why not? It's a refreshing change. Most women do this in circles.
But I feel like a Pied Piper.
Oh, hello, Miss Willie. Do you know what we're doing?
Wearing the carpet out evenly?
Yes, somebody told you.
Didn't I hear the buzzer ring garden hour?
I didn't hear it. I think it's broken.
Harry, aren't you ashamed?
I wish I were dead.
I'm afraid this is my fault, Miss Willie.
I didn't feel like hurting anyhow.
You worked so hard for your flowers. Do you want them to die, Florence?
I don't want anything to die.
Oh, that's so true. Florence wouldn't even hurt a fly. She catches them and puts them outside of her window. Flies adore her.
I think we'd all better go out to work in the garden. Fairy, Sherry, Mrs. Savage, run along now. Aren't you going with him, Mrs. Savage?
I wanted to speak to you alone.
All right, what can I do for you?
A great deal, and I think I can do a great deal for you too.
Are you about to offer me a bribe, Mrs. Savage?
How'd you know?
Everyone does at first.
But still, my offer's a little different. I have the money. I'm prepared to offer you $20,000 to leave that great gate open tonight.
Don't you like us, Mrs. Savage?
Now that's the most irritating answer to a sound business offer, my dear. $30,000. You could be free of this place too.
I don't want to be free of it.
$50,000. You could see Cabo, Mandalay, the South Pacific.
I've been to Cairo. I've seen men
Never mind that. I have it. And in the current idiom, 50,000 is peanuts.
Oh, I believe you. But I'm afraid I have to refuse.
Then you leave me with no other choice but to burn the place down.
Oh, you wouldn't do that.
Oh, yes, I would.
Too many people who wouldn't know how to save themselves. You'd think of them first.
If you think I really belong here, why are you appealing to my reason?
I wasn't. I was appealing to your emotions.
But still, I'll get out of here soon enough. Just bribing you would have been cheaper. Now at least cost me a couple million.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning. Is Mrs. Savage downstairs?
Oh, she just a minute went out to the garden.
What is her state of mind this morning?
Usual pattern. She's already offered me a ride.
What did she offer you?
The highest yet. 50,000? Poor dear.
She sound confident?
Definitely manic. She talked as if she controlled her own affairs.
Apparently she does. Read this. I've just been talking to her children. They're practically out of their minds themselves. The senator will leave Washington at once, pick up his sister in New York, the judge in Boston, and be here by tonight.
This is the most amazing story I've ever read. When did they discover it?
I gathered this morning. They asked me to confine her to her room.
I don't understand it. How could she get away with so much money?
Apparently her husband left the estate to her. She's been secretly selling out control ever since.
$10 billion? Well, that's a typographical error, isn't it?
No, they had it all right.
But what could she have done with it?
As her son says, God knows.
Could she have spent it?
I doubt it. Will you call her in here, please? I'd better tell her what to expect.
Mrs. Savage, will you come in here, please? Dr. Emmett wants to see you. Are you going to place her in seclusion?
Of course not. But sometimes I wish I could place relationships in seclusion. They're always much more trouble than patients.
Do you think she knows what happened to the money?
If she does, she's the only one.
Is there any possibility there's a method in her madness?
Miss Willie, I find a quarter every day to say exactly where reason ends and madness begins. For the moment, I must accept the presumptive evidence of her stepchildren.
Well, from what I've heard, her son's record in Congress would give any good psychiatrist a nasty turn.
It certainly would. And the sensationalism of her daughter's 6 divorces doesn't speak too well for her emotional stability either.
Did you want me, Doctor?
Yes, good morning. Will you help out on the switchboard, Miss Willie? Miriam has been deluged with phone calls from the newspapers.
Yes, Doctor.
Please, sit down, Mrs. Savage.
I think I know what you're going to talk to me about.
Do you?
I see how the morning papers. I was wondering how long it'd take them to find out.
Then you're aware of what you've done? And the consequences?
Oh, it's too early for consequences.
I've just been talking to the senator. We can expect them by tonight.
Indeed, we can. Well, I'm not going anywhere.
How could you possibly have spent $10 million without someone knowing about it?
Who said I spent it?
The paper says you did.
What did the papers know? I couldn't have spent it. I hid it. You hid it? A nice $500,000 negotiable bonds that can't be traced.
Why?
I won't ask you what you do with your money, Doctor.
I'm sorry this has happened, Mrs. Savage. I'm afraid your hidden treasure is going to prove a great disadvantage to you.
That's because you're a doctor, and doctors never know how much money is worth.
Would you like to know how long it would take me to earn that much money, Mrs. Savage?
Oh, excuse me. I came back to my violin. Barry May wants music while she plants her seeds.
Just a moment, Hannibal. You were a statistician. How long would it take the average doctor to earn $10 million?
Well, they'd have to start before Christ was born and work right up to the burning of Rome, up to the burning of St. Joan and Savonarola.
Hannibal.
With time out, of course, for the Norman Conquest, the Crusades, the 100 Years' War, the 30 Years' War,
Yes.
and the 7 Years' War. But, so they'd work double time during the discovery of America, up to penicillin and bubblegum. But that's ended up being federal tax, state tax, city tax, school tax, lecture tax, and amusement tax. You'd add 100 years for that.
Thank you, Hannibal. It's a great deal to be responsible for, Mrs. Savage.
Now what's the doctor up to?
A bit of emotional blackmail. Hannibal, would you look at me and know I was worth $10 million on the book?
Never. The human body only has 20 cents worth of calcium in it, 5 cents worth of iodine, 20 cents worth of phosphorus, and, well, even at present high prices, nobody has worth over $1.50.
You only valued me at $1.50.
Oh, never. You said worth. Your value is inestimable.
Hannibal, I like you. I like you a lot. You make me feel important. You make me feel like dancing.
Splendid. What shall I play?
Anything.
I'm very good on the flight of bumblebee.
Could anything be more perfect? The bees come home and find the honey gone. Someone's going to get stuck. Play, Hannibal.
Are you reading?
Yes, dear.
Is it interesting?
Very.
I'm not disturbing you, am I?
Now, what makes you think that? Is there something I can help you with, dear?
Well, it's just, nobody said they love me all day long.
Well, I guess they have.
No, they haven't. I've been waiting.
I heard Florence say it at the dinner table.
She did?
She said, don't be too fast, Fairy.
But that wasn't her saying that she loved me.
Of course it was. People say it when they say, hurry back, or take an umbrella, it's raining, or even, don't break your neck. There are hundreds of ways of saying it. You just have to know how to listen for it, my dear.
My dentist said I have perfect occlusion. Was that him telling me that he loved me?
What else? But the first time I met my husband, I was horseback riding. He said I had a good seat. I knew immediately he loved me.
Oh, this is so exciting. My dentist loves me.
Is there something else I can help you with, Barry?
No, thank you, though.
Mrs. Savage,
Yes, Florence?
I'm keeping score and the boys won't help me. What is 7 and 5 and 4?
49.
But, Mrs. Savage,
It's my own system, Hannibal. I refuse to submit to the tyranny of mathematics.
Then I win.
I'll keep score after this.
Oh, Mrs. Savage, am I bothering you again?
What makes you think that?
Well, since I'm already bothering you, can you clear up one more thing for me?
Of course.
Well, I was wondering why it's suddenly Sunday when Sunday was only yesterday.
What makes you think it's Sunday, Barry?
Well, it has to be because Sunday is Visitor's Day, and if your family's coming back today, I must have had an awfully good time this week.
It isn't Sunday, Barry. My brood just cannot wait a week to see me.
That must make you very happy.
It should, but it doesn't.
What an awful thing to say.
Sometimes we have to be awful to get God's attention, Florence. If it consoles you, they weren't mine. My husband was up at 3 small children.
Well, you must have liked them when they were little.
I wanted to make them my own, desperately. But they always resented me. Like the first time I put my arms around Lily Bell, she bit me. And she bit me every day until she was 10.
That must have made you very high-strung.
What's stopped at the exact age of 10?
I suppose at 10 a girl begins to consider her teeth.
Well, the boys. Boys are always so much better.
Not always. They have been spoiled by money. But every time I try to correct them, they break something I cherish just to get even with me. It was a happy day when they were sent away to school.
School must have taught them something.
Yes, French. From then on, they spoke nothing but French, just so I couldn't understand them. And I haven't understood them since.
Well, you must be proud of him now. The senator is quite famous, isn't he?
That is, make no mistake. I'm told he receives more threatening telegrams than any other man in Congress. What? Western Union lists him as a tangible asset.
If he's so unpopular, then why do the voters keep sending him back to Washington?
They're no fools. It's the only way to keep him out of the state.
Well, the other son's a judge, isn't he?
That's a distinction.
He's made it one. He has the distinction of having more of his decisions reversed than any other man in jurisprudence.
Miss Savage, is your daughter pretty?
Well, there's a picture of her in the paper. I'll let you see it and you can judge for yourself.
Mrs. Savage, please don't read us anything on the paper.
I'm not going to read, I'm just going to show her a picture.
We don't look at pictures either.
Somebody's always hiding under a truck.
Well, I guess I can look first to make sure it isn't awful. She's a queen. She's wearing a crown.
Oh, a queen?
No, Mary, that's an old picture taken when she was married to her Slovak prince.
Then she's a princess?
Perhaps we better take a quick look at them, just to be polite.
She's not a princess either, Fairy. She discarded her Slovak prince a good 6 husbands ago.
And she kept the crown? But why, Miss Savage?
They'll have no music like a woman playing second
I
fiddle.
don't know when I've seen a prettier tiara.
Yes, but the dress is cut rather low, isn't it?
Miss Savage, I don't like her. Let's do something neat to her.
Why, Fairy.
I don't mean something awfully neat, Florence. I just mean like pinning her picture up on the dartboard and throwing darts in it.
There.
Oh, Mary, you are a sweet girl. That's exactly what they'll do.
Oh, you wouldn't.
I need exercise, my dear. Now let's see, what can I make this up with?
Miss Patty keeps thumbtacks on her art easel.
Oh, Fairy, I am so ashamed.
I wish I had died in the cradle.
Mrs. Patty, why, that is the most lovely seascape I've ever seen. Your genius lies in your simplicity. You challenge the mind. Could I borrow that thumbtack? Thank you, dear.
This is setting a terrible example for motherhood.
Oh, do stop worrying, Florence. You like surprises, don't you?
Well, yes.
Then I plan on surprising Lilybell. Now I'll tee off. Target for tonight. Right, the tiara.
Something terrible is going to happen. I know it.
Everyone upstairs to the study. Mrs. Savage's visitors are here.
Miss Lily, can I stay? I never get to meet any new visitors anymore.
I'm sorry, Fairy, but the senator insists on privacy. Hurry now, everybody out.
You know, Sunday, when I'm ordered out, I'm gonna go out just like everybody else. I have as much fun as anyone.
All the way upstairs now.
How's the weather out there?
Stormy. Where are your visitors, Mrs. Savage?
That will be all. You can wait outside.
I'll leave the latch off and wait at the hall desk.
I don't know what to say to you, Mother. For the life of me, I just don't know what to say.
Polite people say good evening. Deceptionists are unlike you.
Not angry. Just hurt.
Have you the faintest idea of the enormity of what you've done? You sold control of 15 Savage Industries.
We'll have to sell our stock in Savage Brass to buy it back. Oh, didn't you hear? I sold that first. I must get excited. I must get excited. I get lines.
What else? What else did you dispose of?
Everything in my name.
We're ruined.
What about the money? You couldn't have spent it.
I put it into a nice bundle of negotiable bonds and buried it.
When you say buried, you mean hidden.
I mean buried, as in, you know,
In the ground?
I feel physically ill.
Where are they buried?
I forget.
Oh, Lord, grant my mother one moment of clarity.
Where did you bury them? Concentrate. Best way to get lines out of the face, Lilybell. Now let's see. I have to do something about getting you a new eye. Do you know
make you understand, Mother, is it's not the money involved. Nonsense! What are you trying to do? She never said her life.
It was a wash.
Lily Bell, there's no need to raise your voice.
Does it hurt?
Lily Bell, you won't accomplish anything arguing amongst ourselves. Now stop it, or I can't.
You can't afford anything.
Now, Mother, we simply refuse to be angry with you. Now, Lily Bell, apologize.
I will not.
Lily Bell,
I'm sorry, Mother. I don't object to your biting me, nor mangle me to the bone, gut me to your heart's content. Only tell us what you did with our money.
My money. You've had your share.
The estate is ours. It's belonged to the Savage family for generations.
8 generations.
it is unthinkable that you should be the first savage we found wanting.
Now, wanting what?
The savage pride. Now, what I want you to listen carefully to is that. What is it now?
I just asked you to look! She's been throwing darts at my picture!
What of it? That can't possibly hurt you.
It's my daughter's form of murdering someone! What? It's the most precious sort of food a man can decide!
We're losing ground.
We were fostered by a werewolf every savage son of us!
My patience is exhausted. Now tell us what you did with the money.
I told you I buried it.
Where? You don't tell us. This instant you are going to a public institution.
You have me in such a state, I can't think. I haven't a brain in my head anyhow. You've said so time and again.
Not me.
With all this shouting, you've given me a headache. My head is pounding.
Be careful, Titus.
Of course not.
My head is pounding. The only thing that clears my head are those powders I used to take. Would you go get some for me?
Where are they?
I'm out. You'll go, right?
Of course.
Good. I'll write the prescription number. It's for my druggist in Boston.
You mean that you want us to drive all the way back to Boston?
Where's everyone?
Are you ill?
Titus, this is dangerous. We better get those powders and come back in the morning. We won't accomplish anything tonight.
Yes, I agree. You, get a prescription filled.
Get it filled, Samuel. When we get home, I'm going right to bed.
Now will you be prepared to tell us what you've done with the money in the morning?
Pound, pound, pound.
I'll tell the chauffeur we're ready.
Now, what got into him? Never mind. We'd best be on our way, Lily Bell. Dr. Emmett give you a sedative.
Pound, pound, pound. Lily Bell. What do you mean by psst? I have something important to tell you about the bonds. Close the door. Well, I'm prepared to tell you where I hid them. Why me? Titus and Samuel are fools. If something were to happen to me overnight, the bonds would be lost.
It was Titus who wanted you here, not I. Where did you hide them?
Where would you hide $2 million? If you didn't trust banks.
Well, I don't know.
Would you hide them under a rock?
Of course not.
Would you hide them in your mattress? Heaven knows you're never far from your mattress. But what if you were? And the house burned down?
Are
a razor blade, and scotch tape.
How do I know you're telling me the truth?
Like I said, there's an easy way to find out.
You must think I'm very gullible. I had no intention of searching inside a stuffed fish.
We're to hold the car all night for you, Lily Bell. Sample is honking.
Let him honk.
Dr. Emmett will be here to see you in a few moments.
Titus,
Yes, Mother?
kiss me good night.
I don't believe you. You bit Lily Bell.
That's ironical, because I trust you. I was just about to tell you where the bonds were hidden.
Surely, Mother. Know that I never wanted you here. It was all Lily Bell's idea.
Titus, will you get me out of here and let me alone?
Oh, you know I will.
Good, then I'll tell you where they're hidden.
There.
I hid my bonds in a tin box.
Where did you put it?
You remember when I went to Washington with my group for Actors Equity?
No.
Well, I do. It was National Ethel Week. We had lunch with the First Lady. There was Ethel Barrymore and Ethel Merman, Ethel Waters.
What are you talking about?
I hid my bonds in the President's Hunt House.
I don't believe you.
You didn't believe Pearl Harbor until you investigated.
Why would you hide them in such a public place with everyone in and out?
Well, I'm not very bright.
I'm a man who can't get into the White House.
You should agree with him oftener.
How do I know you didn't just imagine all this?
It's in the corner, on the right, under the petunias.
I don't believe you.
There's an easy way to find out.
Titus, if we don't hurry, Samuel's going to go off without us.
I'm coming. I refuse to believe you.
Hey, listen, we're horrible. We're so ashamed. We all wish we were dead.
We wanted to stop listening and sneak away, but we couldn't without making too much noise.
It's quite all right. You would have known if you read the papers.
Are you really going to give them back all that money?
I am indeed. For my memorial fund.
You're a very generous woman for both your size and weight.
But you didn't tell the judge where his share was.
That prescription was really a note to dig under the old chimney.
Why go to the trouble of hiding them if you're just going to tell them where they were?
Foolish I am, but not that foolish. Whatever's under the petunias, or in that porpoise, or under the old chimney, I can assure you it is not my bundle of bonds.
Then why did you tell them it was?
I wanted to see to what extent they make fools of themselves.
How splendid. Nothing makes the truth seem so shabby as a magnificent lie.
How do you know they'll believe you?
Because they want to.
They might find it a bit degrading to go out digging.
Yes, but they will.
How can you be sure?
There are a million things a man won't do for $5, but there aren't 5 things he won't do for $1 million. They'll dig. Jeff.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone was in here.
And I didn't know you could play the piano.
Only when I'm alone.
You shouldn't be so shy. No one's going to compare you to a professional.
But I am a professional.
Oh,
I made my debut a week before the war. Jeffrey Meredith, you see?
why? It says you were brilliant. But you've never played, Jeff.
I don't like to be stared at.
I'll turn the other way and listen. I'd like to hear you.
I'm really not ready to face people yet. Please don't insist.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Thank you. Can you keep a secret?
For about 10 minutes.
Dr. Emmett isn't really a doctor at all.
What is she?
A patient, just like Mrs. Patton.
You think so?
For 5 years now, she's promised to give me a new face.
No, Jeff, she's a doctor. It says so on her office door. She wouldn't lie.
Do you believe a man is what he claims to be?
I'm a trusting soul. I try to believe the best in people.
Well, it's best to believe the worst. If you believe the worst, then the worst is only half bad at best. And the best is no worse than expected. So it's best to believe the worst.
You know, Jeff, that's just obscure enough to be profound. But what does it mean?
If a man claims to be wise, you consider him a fool. If he claims to be a fool, then you believe him.
Only a fool claims he's wise.
Exactly, which proves I'm right. Dr. Emmett is a fool. The war's been over for 5 years now, and where's her miracle?
Some things take a long time to heal, Jeffrey.
I can't wait much longer. I'm getting old. I'll be 26 soon.
And that's ancient. Why don't you forget your appearance and play anyhow? Don't condemn your audience until you give them a chance to become.
Look at me. Then tell me an audience wouldn't shudder at the sight. Look, do you see?
I see nothing. To hide, Jeffrey.
Dr. Emmett told you what to say.
No, she didn't. I promise. And I believe her if I were you. Give her a little more time.
All right, I'll give her 5 years more.
Fair enough.
Do you know something?
Not a thing. I'm awed only by the magnitude of what I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't tell this to anyone else. Handel can't really play the violin.
No.
Yes?
Of course, I am tone deaf.
I'll tell you something else. I sometimes wish I was.
You're a sweet boy.
Handel can't play the violin, and he does. I really can play, but I won't. Don't you find that funny?
Not very.
Oh, here, put a chair quick, there's a rat hole. Right as big as a mouse.
Carrie, what am I going to do with you?
You put me right off my coffee.
You know, there's no rat in the hall.
But Miss Savage doesn't, and I intend to make life here interesting for her.
Thank you, dear. She'll be happy to know I just aged 50 years. And that puts me well over 100.
Perfect! We can have a birthday party. I'll make the birthday candles.
So sit down quietly and drink your coffee.
Oh dear, I ate too much again.
Why, Hannibal, you shouldn't exercise after a meal.
I know, but if I wait till I'm comfortable, my conscience will deal with me.
Are you sure there have been no calls or messages from me today?
Positive.
Well, is it possible to send to the village and get tonight's newspaper?
Well, if you'll serve the coffee, I'll ask Dr. Emmett.
Gladly.
Here you are, Bingo.
Florence hasn't been served yet.
Oh, don't stand on manners, Jeff. Miss Willie knows just how you like your coffee. I'll get my own.
Very well, thank you.
You're annoyed.
You single me out for attention, Miss Willie. It's not fair, and I don't like it.
Jeff, I'm so tired tonight I didn't remember. You'll have to forgive me.
It's all right, I forget too sometimes.
Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who is the best dressed of them all? Fairy who?
Cream in your coffee, Fairy.
Yes, please. Do you think this dress does anything for me? I made it myself.
It's sheer delight. Sugar?
Yes, 5. I didn't have time to sew it all together, so I had to stick it together with pins.
Hannibal?
No, thank you.
Would you like to know a more enjoyable way to do that exercise?
An enjoyable way of losing weight is yet to be invented.
Well, I know of an improvement. All you need is a deck of cards.
I went to a fortune teller when I was 14. Everything he told me about cards turned out to be untrue. I never really believed in cards after that. Fairy, fairy, fairy.
Now throw them up in the air. To lose weight. Now all you have to do is bend over and pick them up again one by one.
I like that. It's tight.
I learned it in a beauty course.
Thank you, Mrs. Savage. It's a great improvement already.
Hannibal, wouldn't it be easier to pick them up sideways?
Much. Man was made all wrong. His stomach should be in back. When he bends, it's in the way. When he kneels, his legs buckle out instead of folding neatly behind him. And why should his nose be in front? It only gets in the way when he kisses.
You're so right.
I guess God was in a hurry.
Well, Hannibal, what are we doing now?
We're losing weight.
Well, would you postpone it for a while? Would you all go upstairs to the study for a few moments? I want to talk to Mrs. Savage. Florence, would you take the coffee with you?
Oh, I do hate having coffee upstairs. It's so middle class. Where is John Thomas?
I think we left him up on the phonograph, Florence.
Oh, yes, he does adore the classics. Upstairs, downstairs, tell you to go scream. May I stay back for a minute? No, you may not.
Miss Willie tells me you seem anxious to see tonight's papers. Why?
Haven't.
Here they are. It will undoubtedly please you to know that you've caused considerable trouble again.
Have I? Oh, look! Titus on the front page. Senator trapped in White House hothouse.
I've just been talking to him. He's exceedingly angry.
Imagine pulling up all those petunias. What will everyone think?
As a result of this, your position here has deteriorated considerably.
And my disposition has blossomed enormously. Anything on sale?
Oh yes, here's the Boston Post.
Dear, oh dear, all those bricks right on top of them. You know, for some people it takes a ton of bricks. Chimney collapses on Boston jurists.
How could they possibly have believed you?
They should be committed, shouldn't they? Nothing on Lily Bell.
Your batting average for mischief is 100%, Mrs. Savage.
No! What a horrible picture of Lily Bell. This would frighten even fairies.
According to this, she resisted arrest.
So I see. Female vandal invades museum. Berserk heiress bites police.
What do you hope to gain, Mrs. Savage?
Better terms
For your freedom?
for my memorial fund.
Your children believe that money can be put to better use.
Of course, their own. Why, Lily Bell settled over $1 million on her 6 husbands. Tyson Samuel spent just as much securing jobs to which they had no right. Is that better use?
They consider your memorial fund to be quite unorthodox, Mrs. Savage.
That's absurd. There are plenty of charities to helping foolish people in desperate need, but none to help people with a desperate need to be foolish.
What brought you to that conclusion?
My own life. One never forgets the foolish things they never got. I bet if Hannibal had been given that violin when he wanted one, he wouldn't need one now.
That's quite possible.
I want my husband to be remembered with warmth and gratitude for the few foolish dreams that came true. I will not give up my memorial to him.
I want to discuss this with you further, but at the moment you have visitors waiting. You may come in now, Senator. I'll be just outside if you want to.
My headache's gone.
How dare you make a fool of me? How dare you?
You tried to kill me! You knew very well that as soon as I started pulling bricks out of that old chimney, you would follow me. Didn't you?
We're not a very bright family, are we?
Oh, you must be proud indeed to see the savage name held up to ridicule. Again.
You did, Titus.
8 FBI men jumped me, shoved my face into the dirt. Oh, that's planting a bomb.
Why didn't you just tell the papers the truth? I did. Sleepwalking, really?
You try to think of an excuse with 8 men on your chest.
She'd love the chance.
It was recently learned that the senator's mother, Mrs. Ethel P. Savage, the actress, was recently committed due to irresponsible actions. Democratic leaders were quick to point out that this may explain the senator's recent career of strange behavior in Congress. Do you know what this does to me politically?
Makes you a Lord Canard, French, rather than eyes you mean you're going to see things in my way, then that's the right word.
We'd be willing to effect your release to the custody of someone for a period of time.
I'd be willing to give her complete freedom if she'd give up acting and lead a dignified life.
Freedom, as Titus can tell you, is the right to make the wrong choice.
But what do we get?
That's what I like about you, Titus. No nonsense. You will each receive a reasonable yearly pension.
How?
I shall be generous, but the bulk of the estate must be given away by my son.
Completely mad.
How do we know that we wouldn't have to commit to a vote only to have you pull yet another trick on us? Then where would we be?
Where are you now?
Just get it over with, Titus.
Very well. Samuel, write a retraction.
I am tired of economic decisions reversed.
When I'm released, I will keep my promise, but I warn you, don't have me followed.
Samuel, you just wait a minute.
What is it?
I found the answer.
What are you talking about?
It's on the cover of this medical journal. It's a way to avoid your compromise. But I need to talk to Dr. Emmett first.
Are you going to sign that petition, Lilybell?
Don't you sign anything until I come back, Titus.
Lilybell?
I bet she's writing something to trick you. If you listen to her again, you'll end up without a cent.
What do I do?
Write the retraction. She's gotten us into enough trouble already.
And be quick. Yours and Samuel's signature should be enough.
How many T's in
3.
2.
That doesn't look right.
And that's me. I'll write it.
Give it back.
All it needs to say is that the commitment was ill-advised and request release.
Does that satisfy you?
It will when you sign it.
What are you doing?
Signing the retraction.
It
Lilybell!
isn't
Lilybell, you never
necessary.
act without consulting us.
You'll regret this.
Oh, do be quiet. Read that.
What?
The article on sodium pentothal. It's why perhaps I should let Dr. Emmett explain. Will you tell me what sodium pentothal does, Doctor?
It's generally used in cases of shock. It releases tension, removes the patient's inhibitions, and makes them receptive to suggestion.
It's called the truth drug.
That's not quite accurate.
But under its influence, the patient answers truthfully. Isn't that so?
If they answer at all.
Now do you see?
Administer
Did
some...
you want me, doctor? Yes, just a moment.
Haven't I any choice in the matter, Doctor?
Dr. Emmett, may I say something? Surely you're not going to listen to these people. It's a flagrant misuse of science.
Doctor, I order you to administer this drug to my mother at once.
Mrs. Savage, if I refuse, your guardians are well within their legal right to remove you from my authority. I'm confident that they'll find a means of subjecting you to the influence of sodium pentothal elsewhere.
Then let someone else be responsible, doctor.
$10 million hidden from use does no one any good, least of all you. It remains an ever-present symptom of psychotic thinking. This is your opportunity to prove you're capable of making a rational decision. An intelligent mind recognizes defeat.
Well, let it be known that I was not brought to my knees by...
Miss Savage, don't! We've come to rescue!
It's not too late!
We'll stand by you, Mrs. Savage.
We just happened to be listening. Shame on you, and you!
Dr. Emmett, who are these people?
These are my friends.
Weren't you asked to stay upstairs, Hannibal?
Dr. Emmett, I want to protest.
Who gives you the right to protest, sir?
I
It's none of your concern.
I love you all for wanting to try to help me, but I'm afraid the doctor hasn't much choice.
But what will you do, Mrs. Savage?
Give them the bonds.
I think you made the right decision, Mrs. Savage.
I'm going to show you where the bonds are hidden.
No, you heard it!
Here's your treasure.
My goodness, she has them with her all the time. Oh,
What happened to the light? The light switch! Someone turn the light on the door! Guys, I haven't got him back! Who is it?
Where's Lilybell?
She's disappeared.
My goodness, what on
lights, took the bonds, and ran.
Miss Willie, get Mrs. Patty. Notify all guards to stop her before she destroys those bonds.
I can't bear it! I simply can't bear it! I'm going to pieces!
This will calm you. Would you like to try it?
Darling Mrs. Patty! Come, girls, let's go for a walk.
Why, this place is simply a madhouse!
Yes, Miss Wilhelmina. Good. Good. Oh, good.
Well,
All the wards have been locked off. Staff's alerted, and Miss Willie is searching the basement now.
but did she find that woman?
Not yet.
And what in heaven's name is the good about?
We are taking every possible precaution, Senator.
That maniac is $10 million. If they're not found, they can't be replaced.
What will she do with the bonds, Doctor?
She'll probably eat them.
I don't know, but we're sure to recover them. It may take a little time.
Years, probably.
You're right in front of us within our grasp! Why didn't you stop her?
How was I supposed to know the lights were going to go out?
It's quite possible.
Mrs. Patty didn't take them
Of
at all.
course she did. No one else could have taken them.
You could have.
Nonsense. She wasn't anywhere near the table when the lights went out.
She's mighty quick when it comes to money. Personally, I think she took them and stuck them down her butt. But Lord knows there's room.
You didn't try to take them, did you?
Oh, goodness, can't you see she's trying to make us suspect each other?
Well, someone else could have taken them. Here's near the table when the lights went out.
He was right beside it.
Well, what have you got to say for yourself?
I didn't take them. I don't like bonds.
The Queen of Spades! Somebody's gonna die!
Dr. Evan, must we have these people here?
Doctor, get these people out of here! No, no, don't let anyone out of our sight until they're searched.
Everyone off with his clothes.
Wait, my glasses too?
Mrs. Savage, please don't make this any more difficult than you already have.
And for heaven's sake, do something about this man's tossing cards around. My nerves are on edge.
Don't.
Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. I understand you have a lovely tiara. You sleep in it.
Oh, sit down, you unattractive creature. I've had quite enough. I don't like you.
Fairy, please sit down and be quiet while we wait.
Mary, I'm sorry. I'm upset.
Oh, Mrs. Patty, you have the entire staff searching for you.
Stop it! Don't let her get away!
Mrs. Patty, I think you better join us. We'd like to talk to you.
Now we'll find out what happened to those bonds. Hand over, woman.
I think you better let me question her, Senator. She won't talk to you.
We'll see about that. What did you do with the bonds?
I hate everything in the world.
drug. Use the truth drug on her.
It's out of the question. I'd have to have her guardian's consent.
Very well. Who's her guardian?
Her husband.
I'll get him on the phone. Where is he?
Japan.
Well, in that case, haven't you the authority to act?
We've no proof that she took them yet. I still think Lily Bell's your girl.
Will you stop saying that?
Dr. Emmett,
Yes, Jack.
seeing as Miss Savage can't have her bonds anyhow, I think I can help.
Yes?
Mrs. Patty didn't take them,
How do you know?
because I took them.
I knew we were being tricked. Hand him over, young man.
I can't.
Did you take them, Jeffrey?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you do with them?
I've searched Mary, Doctor. She doesn't have them.
I threw them out the window.
Hurry, Tennis, come outside. We'll watch from the window.
Hurry, the room in Arabia.
Jack, you couldn't have thrown them out the window. The window is closed.
Oh.
It's stuck. What do you mean by misleading us?
Don't you do it all!
But he said he took the bonds.
Well, he didn't. I happen to know he didn't.
And just how do you happen to know that?
That's none of your business.
How do you know, Miss Lily?
Because I had my arms around Jeff in the lights now. I wanted to protect him during the confusion.
Thank you, Miss Lily.
But that's not true. She didn't. I took them. No one else.
Miss Lily, Dr. Emmett, Miss Lily, there's a fire upstairs! A fire with flames this big! Mary, you must believe no! There's a fire upstairs! A fire with flames this big!
Will you please sit down there quietly while we wait, Barry?
I can't. I'm full of pain. Dr. Emmett, please leave me
Where
alone!
is the fire? Bathroom? Barry, sit down.
Dr. Emmett, please!
Jack, if you did take the bonds, where did you put them?
I told you he couldn't have taken them.
Of course he couldn't have. If anybody knows that, I should.
I suppose you took them?
I confess everything.
There's a fire upstairs. There's a conspiracy down here.
Where are they, Florence?
I won't tell.
These people are trying to deceive
I
us.
have committed this theft with full knowledge of the stigma involved.
Better search her.
Greedy little man.
Will you take Florence to her room and search her carefully?
I won't tell
Something's
Mrs.
burning
Savage.
upstairs.
Even if they cut off all my hair and put me in solitary confinement, I won't tell.
Come along, Florence.
It's a waste of time to search dear Florence.
No, I suppose you took them.
No, but I know who did.
Who did, Hannibal?
It wasn't Mrs. Patty.
Who was it?
It wasn't Florence either.
I don't want to know who it wasn't. I want to know who was it.
Is that good grammar?
If you ask a Mohammedan what God is, he'll name all the things he isn't. It's easier than telling what he is.
And one thing he isn't on your side. Hannibal, if you know who took the bonds, will you tell us?
I'm not exactly sure who took them, but I know it was a woman, and I know it wasn't Mrs. Patty.
How do you know it was a woman?
Really, Titus? How do you know it was not Mrs. Patty?
She doesn't use perfume.
Lily Bell Bates!
I was nowhere near the table.
Could you identify the scent? I think so.
Well, I use gardenia. What do you use, Barry?
No name. I make my own.
Hannibal? Smell, Lily Bell.
Titus, I didn't tolerate this. The ringing voice of us for their amusement.
Smell anything?
Yes,
What?
smoke.
I must be out of my mind. I smell smoke too.
High time.
Doctor, but I found a fire in Miss Patty's bathtub.
In the bathtub?
I'm afraid it's the bonds, or what's left of them.
No.
Why? There's no way of telling if those
Is someone waiting for you?
No.
Does someone need you?
No.
But Miss Savage, you can't leave. I haven't had time to get you a going away present. I'll do it real fast. I can get you a good one. Please let me. I think I'll get something for you too, Mrs. Savage. Will you wait?
Of course.
Come on, everyone. Let's go get Miss Savage a going away present.
I have something I just remembered.
I'm gonna get you something simple. I do poor practical gifts.
There's nothing in my room that you want, Mrs. Savage, but I have something on me that I've tried. My class ring. Inside it says, "Let there be light." Something Mrs. Patty would hate.
No, Hannibal, I couldn't take the ring off your finger.
But I insist. It has no value as gold goes, but as blood goes, it's a statistical treasure. My heart has pumped blood to this ring every 2 minutes for 10 years. That adds up roughly to about 100,000 gallons of blood.
It's too much, Hannibal.
Not at all. I just don't seem able to get it off.
No, you keep it, but I do appreciate the sincerity and the statistics.
The fingers got too fat on the side of the ring.
You've had that ring so long, it's become a part of you. Keep it.
Miss Savage, I'm all out of breath. Feel my heart.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Hannibal, you can feel my heart too.
Thank you. About 104 beats to the minute, I'd say.
Oh, Miss Savage, I got you your gift.
You should have gone to so much trouble, Fairy.
What is it?
It's a handkerchief.
No. It's a napkin. So many places serve paper napkins, but they blot or smear.
Bless you, Fairy. I'll take it with me whenever I invite you out.
And it says the cloisters on it. Isn't that lucky? Oh, Fairy got you something first. What did she get you?
A hand-picked napkin.
Well, then it fits in perfectly with my gift.
You shouldn't have, Lawrence.
What is it?
A salt shaker.
And full of salt, too.
Is it sterling? Now, Fairy dear, I wouldn't dream of giving Mrs. Savage something that wasn't sterling. Oh, it's dented. Now, Fairy, dents give an antique quality.
Indeed, they do.
Well, Miss Savage, I really hope you weren't expecting us to say goodbye. I can't say goodbye. I don't accept goodbye. You weren't expecting goodbyes, were you?
I wasn't even expecting a salt shaker.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Miss Savage. We're so glad you're here. We've been waiting for you all day. So nice to finally meet you. John Thomas wanted me to give you something. He would have delivered it himself, but he has the measles. Come, Fairy. Let's pretend it's garden hour. Take an umbrella. It's raining.
Well, Jeffrey, what did you bring?
Just a book, but I hope you enjoy it.
What is it, Mrs. Savage?
The lifespan of the ape. Did you know I haven't read it?
I was lucky, wasn't I?
I'm going to read it tonight.
We thought you were done, that Mrs. Patty.
What did you get, Mrs. Patty?
A genuine mother of pearl pudding. I'm going to sew it on immediately.
May I see it?
It's just what I needed.
I think it's intended to make an eye for the bear.
Well, bless your angry soul. You seem to have only one eye for so long.
I hate everything in the world. I hate everything in the world. But I hate everything in the world but you. I love you and I wish you'd never leave us.
Why? She said she loved me.
Well,
Aren't you surprised?
Why should we be? We knew it all along.
She spoke.
She had to say it.
well, Jeffrey, shall we see what the girls are up to? It's a lovely night, everyone's polite. Oh, and Mrs. Savage, watch out. Don't break your neck.
You have a nice seat.
I think it has everything. Here's your $85 hat. I told you you'd want it again.
My beautiful and foolish hat.
You know, I think you've been wearing it backwards.
You know, I have. It's going to be straightened out. grain of salt and take with what I see.
That's good and fairy.
A memory of loveliness.
Afraid to most people she wouldn't seem a lovely girl.
She wears her plainness with great beauty.
And Jack,
The book of Job.
nothing from Hannibal?
I'd say he gave me an appreciation for music that I never had before.
Well, I have something to give you too.
You behave yourself.
It isn't much.
What could it be? My bonds.
Except for a corner of a piece I had to burn with the others to make it look convincing.
Where did you find these?
I didn't find them. I stole them when the lights went out.
Don't tell me you're a kleptomaniac.
It's too quick to think. What bothers me is that after I took them, I toyed with the idea of keeping them.
It's a normal impulse. But what stopped you?
What Jeff might think.
You need to get out of here, my dear. It isn't healthy to think like that.
But you knew Jeff was my husband, didn't you?
I certainly did not.
Well, he is. And I want to be here when he recovers. And do you know why I wouldn't keep any of that money? Your selfishness. I want to do everything for him myself. Surely you understand that.
The only thing I don't understand is how I could have ever been so foolish. You know the saying, there's no fool like a you know what.
Well, I don't think it applies to you.
Does anyone else know about these?
I told Dr. Emmett.
Well, whether you like it or not, you're both going to hear from my memorial fund.
I talked to the medical inspector.
Yes.
Station wagon is outside and ready to take you wherever you want to go. Miss Willie, will you take Mrs. Savage's bags out of the car, please? I have a few papers for you to sign, Mrs. Savage, and you're free to go.
I must really be out of my mind. I don't think I want to leave.
You mean you prefer to leave tomorrow?
I don't think I want to leave at all. Suddenly, I'm weary. I'd like to rest. I'd like to relieve of decision making. I'd like to know if the walls guard my sleep at night.
The peace you find here, it's like the moon reflected on a dark lake. Strike the surface and you destroy it. Is that the kind of peace you want?
I want what everyone wants. To want nothing. These people have found their peace.
How do you know?
I have eyes to see.
So has Jeffrey, but he sees only what he wants to see. An excuse for not facing the future. Does Florence see that her child was taken from her? Does Fairy see what the mirror should tell her? No! They've taken refuge in an eggshell world where you don't belong. Or you see yourself clearly, I'm sure.
Then where do I belong?
In the world where you can best serve, Mrs. Savage. The impulse to live your life with courage was right. Go ahead with your memorial fund. And don't be betrayed by the illusion of contentment. The door is open for you. Make your peace with loneliness.
Oh, I'm glad you're still here. I just thought of what I can give you.
Not your violin, Hannibal.
Oh, no, you couldn't play it. I can give you a song that you can take anywhere you go. Here's your song, Mrs. Savage.
Bradshaw, wherever you are, can you stand up? Let's give a round of applause, everybody. This is his 29th show in this auditorium, and it is the last one that's going to be in this auditorium, so it's very special to him, and it's very special to us. Mr. Rydell's helped us so much with getting this set up and helping us with props and lighting and lighting. So, Mr. Bradshaw, could you stand up? Let's give a round of applause for you. Maddie Ford, who's our stage manager. She's helped us run the show back here. Maddie, do you want to come